At the G20 meeting of finance ministers and central bankers, China advocated greater reliance on structural reforms instead of fiscal stimulus to boost growth. In their final communique, that's exactly what the group decided to do. CCTV's Ming Tian has more from Shanghai.
The group of 20 finance ministers and central bank governors had gathered in Shanghai to discuss the global economy and persistent market volatility over the span of 2 days. After long discussions, they agreed on renewing their focus on structural reforms to prevent further downside risks and spark activity.
The meetings underlined that we will take all necessary policy tools, both individually and collectively, including monetary, fiscal, and structural reforms, to lift market sentiment and revive growth, and keep the debt ratio at sustainable levels.
In other words, fresh efforts on monetary easing and government spending can be expected. But to anchor long-term expansion, structural reforms are needed. The measures will mean different things for different countries. The goal is universal, to make growth sustainable.
Policymakers reiterated that the structural reforms should bolster potential growth in the medium term and make the G20 economies more innovative, flexible, and resilient.
Officials spent much of the Friday night talking about the global economic outlook, and they stressed that the recovery is not as bad as reflected by the markets. The expansion is there, just more moderate than previously expected. They also agreed to keep consulting with each other and coordinate policy decisions, something which is always easier said than done. Above all, the good news is that everybody seems to be on the same page and willing to take concerted efforts, and this spirit is much needed during this market turmoil. 明天 CCTV 上海